welcome. You're watching Business Today Television. I'm Sakshi Batra, and this is your favorite show, Daily Calls, a show that addresses all your stock-related queries. Well, in case you're watching this show for the first time, the WhatsApp number is flashing on your screens. This is where you can send in all your stock-related queries, and our top market experts will be happy to address it for you. Remember, this is a market which is a very, very tough market, a painful market, and in case you're getting into doubts about the stocks that are in your portfolio, are deep in the red, or are you looking at some fresh opportunities in this dip in the market? Well, first up, it's important to take a professional guidance, and therefore we launched this show to help you out with the top market experts guiding you through. In case you are watching our show live on our YouTube platform, then you can use the comment section there to also send me your questions from there, and I'll be happy to take them for you as well. Right now, if we look, the markets are in a pain point. When we look at the Nifty, it's down by over 300 points. The Sensex is 1,000 points down in trade. 73,598 for the Sensex as well. So the market breadth is weakening. We're also seeing the broader markets in deeper pain. There's a 1,400 point cut on the mid cap index. Remember, both the mid and the small caps have entered into a bear market phase because they are down by over 20% as far as their top market moves were concerned. From their high point, they're down by 21 and 24% respectively as far as the mid and the small caps are concerned. They're trading their day's low, and it seems like it's going to be a painful day at a beginning to the March FNO series. Let's welcome our guest on board. Kush Kodasara joins in. He's a market expert. Warm welcome, Kush. Kush, every day we are actually testing lower levels, and the start of the March FNO series has actually been on a very, very somber note. What is it that the markets are telling you right now?
Very good afternoon. Thank you for having me on the show. Definitely, since we breached 22,800 and we last when we talked, that we already mentioned there is something wrong in the market. We don't know what's the wrong reason might be, coming out after a few weeks. But yes, definitely the way FIs are selling and way, stock markets are breaking all the technical support. I think definitely, first target was 22,200, which is almost achieved. Now the next target which opens up is 21,800, below which we will test 4th June low of 21,200. So definitely the way we have breached all the support level this week, I think we are headed down uh, more downside. I can give you technical reasons, but fundamental reasons, I think one of the reason is that world over we are into a stagflation where we are witnessing inflation, but we are not witnessing the growth. So now, if you look at the numbers of U.S. economy yesterday, which were flash, there is slowdown in economy, but still there is high inflation. So definitely, world is in a confusing fundamental stage, and that's what we call stagflation. And this will be happening after many years. I mean, almost 2 decades. So if this stagflation continues for more 2 months, we are going to see more pain.
So we could see some more pain, is what Kush is indicating here. Well, we have a lot of our viewers writing in to us. Let's start taking their questions, and we can keep coming to the market sentiments with Kush. Well, we first look at the questions that are coming in on our YouTube channel. We have Avnish Chaudhary writing in. He says, "Hi Sakshi, good afternoon. FNO segment में आने की वजह से इरिडा टूट रहा है और also 155 रुपए के आसपास आता हुआ दिखा ये, तो अभी क्या जिनकी लेवल्स खरीदारी की 216 के ऊपर की है उनको क्या करना चाहिए इरिडा में?" ठीक है, आपको राय दिलवाते हैं. इरिडा definitely has been a pain point for several months now, Kush. For some of the investors, this was an erstwhile favorite in the renewable energy pack, but the trend has only weakened in the last few months. What would you suggest on Irida now?
Definitely, weekly charts are suggesting some more pain, but I'm guessing the investor is a long term investor, because if you are holding since say about 200 levels, so definitely you are a long term investor. So fundamentally, I would like to clarify that IREDA is a good company to hold for next 5 years, because electrifying India is the goal of government, and that can be easily achieved only by renewable. So definitely IREDA is a good stock to hold on. I'm sure there is some pain in your portfolio, but we'll average the stock. But just wait for around 125 to 130 levels. you can get back to us around 130 levels and we'll average out. So hold your stop. Till then, try to save some money to average out around 125.
Okay. Next, we have a question coming in from Avdish Thakur. He says between NHPC and IOCL, where can he take a fresh entry for medium to long term? So PSU basket, one is a power related stock, NHPC, the other one is OMC or an oil marketing company, IOCL. Anywhere where technical charts are looking promising right now, Kush?
So technical charts are not looking anywhere promising, Sakshi, right now.
Yeah.
Especially today when we have breached, almost 52-week low. So I think chart is not looking good for any. But stock which you have picked, they are wonderful stock for long term. He has mentioned that he wants to invest for medium to long term. Then I feel for long term you should pick IOCL. The reason is that IOCL is a good stock which gives good dividends, and also every 2 3 years we see a bonus issues. So if you're a long-term investor, I'm sure this is a good price to start investing IOCL in form of SIP. Every month you accumulate some stock IOC for next 3 months. If you hold for next 5 years, I'm definitely looking at better returns than in FD. So definitely a good stock is IOCL. Avoid NHPC. I think NHPC is a low beta stock and it does not give that much of returns on dividend as much as IOCL.
Yes, okay. I hope this has answered your question, Mr. Thakur. Next, we have a question coming in from Ankur Modi, again, one of our regular viewers. He says, Hi, Sakshi. Well, things are getting worse in the markets. Every level is getting broken on the downside on all the indices. So, what should be one strategy in this panicking market? You're right, Ankur. We are actually seeing a broad based sell off, be it the Nifty Bank sectorally, broader markets, everywhere the pain is only getting deeper at this point in time. So, important to understand the key strategy here. Kush, what are you advising clients at this point in time? Should one actually wait it out to see where the dust can settle and there could be signs of a reversal? Or can one take this as an opportunity of the looking at it from the way of that this could be the fag end of the sell off and start deploying fresh money? How are you advising clients?
So definitely, before 4 days, I'd advise all to clients, and even I had posted on social media that now it's the right time to for investors to start investing in
Okay.
part. So definitely, first level to invest was 22,200. So today I have flashed all a message to all the investors who are long-term investors that you should chip in some money, at least 20% of your capital today. So
Hmm.
maybe you a lump sum in blue chip mutual funds, or maybe Nifty 50 stocks like Titan, FMC stocks, Reliance, Tata Motors, which have hit 52-week low. So I have advised 5 Nifty levels where worst case we could touch, and usually it's very difficult to predict the bottom. So
Yeah.
22,000 was the first investment target. Second level on Nifty where you should invest another part is at 21,400. Third level is around 20,500 and fourth level around 19,600 in worst case if we hit. And fifth level is very, deep down that I won't mention right now because investors will get scared. So at least this four levels you should keep in mind where you should start investing. So yes, today is the day. Start investing at least 20% of your capital. Don't wait for, making some bottom.
Okay, got that. Let's take another question again from our YouTube viewers that's coming in. This one is from Vineet Kulkarni. Vineet Kulkarni wants to know on BSC stock and he wants to know can the stock actually fall below 1000? He's looking probably for a fresh entry. Where do you think that can be really looked at? Because, of course, capital markets and index stock right there, when we look at a long term perspective, this has also been a wealth creator in the recent past, but in the recent correction, do you think 1000 and below levels can be seen on this?
On BSC, I think fair value would be around 2,800 to 3,000 to invest. The reason is why definitely BSC is a good stock, but BSC was trading around 100 PE before 2 weeks, and comparing it with NSE, which is unlisted definitely, but the data is available in the portal. I compared NSE is trading in unlisted at around 50 PE. So there was a huge gap between NSE and BSE. NSE is going to be listing soon. That's what we have heard. So definitely this is going to have effect on BSE. We will see the fair valuation price coming down. So if you are an investor and you are stuck at a higher price, maybe you can stay invested. We'll average it out. But if you are a trader, definitely you should exit the stock. I think first target is around 3900, which is 200 average. If we break that, then fair value fundamental is around 2800 to 3000. That is where we can have, create some base.
Okay, next let's take another question. This one is from Swati, and she says, I'm a big fan of Business Today channel. Thank you so much, Swati, for writing in to us. Her question is on two stocks, Kush. The first one is from the PSU space, MMTC. She has a portfolio stock, as in she bought this stock at 78 levels. And the other one is Mahindra and Mahindra Finance, where she took an entry at 282. Now she wants to know whether she can continue holding her position. Is an averaging advised at the current levels? What would you advise? MMTC and M&M Finance.
So starting with MMTC, definitely it is very deep loss from your investment. So I would suggest you can hold on. It's a good company, but it's a very low beta. I mean, your cost price to may take many months or even years to get back. So we'll average the stock once we settle out. So around 35 to 40, maybe MMTC is a good level to average. So around 35 or 40, as you are being a regular viewer, you can come back and take a review. So hold on MMTC. Maybe on M&M Finance, I would suggest your cost price is nearby. Exit once, because I believe NBFC will see a good correction. Nifty has corrected a lot deeper than Bank Nifty and NBFC. So next sell-off would be in financial sector. So we may see some correction in NBFC. So exit M&M Finance at current levels. It's a good stock, but we'll re-enter around 200 levels. So exit M&M Finance, hold on MMTC. We'll average it out at a lower level.
Fair point. I hope, Swati, this has really answered your question on both the stocks right there. Next, we have a question. This one is coming in from Rishikesh. He says, Hi, Sakshi ma'am. When will this pain in railways and defense end? As every day my losses keep on increasing. Please guide me if I should sell off all my stocks, or should I continue to average at this point in time? Well, Rishikesh, I can understand your pain. A lot of investors have actually been facing sharp sell-offs in their railways and defense portfolio stocks. They have really come down sharply, 30, 40, even 50% as well from highs. If you could have told me the key stocks, we would have been able to help you with the stock specific view from our guest Kush. But we'll otherwise overall take a view. Kush, defense and railways, probably the biggest pain points in the last 5 months of a fall. Will it continue to be in pain? What would you advise investors here?
So definitely. So first advice I would like to tell him is don't exit in panic. Definitely, if you are in need of money or something, then you can consult your financial consultant. But if there is no hurry, you should hold on, because now you are at a midpoint. If you had asked me same question at 24,500, maybe I would advise to exit with some loss. But defense and railway are the stocks that are going to be evergreen sector for next 5 to 7 years. So as a long-term investment, definitely you should hold on. Yes, when should be average? That is the right question. So let's wait. Maybe around 20,500 or 21,000. You come back and ask with the stock specific view. We can average out. So right now, I would advise switch off your whatever app you are using for looking at the price. Just look you at your portfolio once a week, and if at all when Nifty you can keep alert 21,500 hit होता है, तो हम definitely वहाँ पे we will advise and you ask you to average. So hold on, I am sure you are in pain, but not right time to exit because you are at the midpoint.
Yes, absolutely. So keep an eye out on the long term, and right now is not the right time for you to exit. You've already seen a lot of pain. Things might just be holding on for some more time, consolidating, and things might improve going forward. We have a question, interesting one coming in from Mr. Subramaniam. He says, Sakshi, I'm holding HDFC Bank from IPO time. and the way the markets are behaving, I want to know whether I should book profits or continue to hold on. Well, you've actually held this stock from what, 25, 30 years old. You've actually seen a lot of wealth creation. For those who actually got HDFC Bank at the IPO time, those people have actually believed it to be one of the best stocks in their portfolios as well. So I'd like to first congratulate you, Mr. Subramaniam, that you've actually held on through various cycles as far as HDFC Bank is concerned. Of course, last 4 5 years have been very big pain point, but since you've been able to look at all of those years and you've held on, I believe the tide is just turning for the positive. Most of the market experts believe banks, financials, might just be now turning positive. This is the space that you should be. I would really think that in case you could hold on, then why not? But in case you need the money, you already have a lot of wealth that's been generated for you. So take that risk and take that calculated call for yourself. But we'll also take Kush's expert view. HDFC Bank being held on from IPO time. Kush, is it the right time to exit or should one hold on?
No, definitely. Once of as you rightly said, congratulations that you have created wealth, and I hope the traders and investors who have entered after 2020, and if they are watching this show, so
Yeah.
they'll get actually stock market is, because everyone thought from who has only seen a rally from 2020 to 24, they thought stock market is like a ATM machine which generates money every time when we press the button. But that's not true. Real wealth is generated if you invest for long term. So that's a good example. Right time you ask the question. So definitely, you should hold on to the stock. But as you are a long-term investor, I've just opened HDFC Bank monthly chart time frame, and I would suggest you a stop loss at 1620. So I won't advise you to exit everything below 1620, but at least 20% you can exit at 1620 and maybe shift to some new age banking stock if you are willing to, or maybe FMCG because they've taken a good hit. And if a new rally starts from here, definitely FMCG will give you good money. So don't sell off everything, but at least 20% you can keep a strict stop loss at 1620, which is 15 months average. So if that is breached, we may see some correction. So 20% is what I advise to shift uh, for wealth creation to some new age FMG stocks like Zomato, Swiggy, or maybe Tata Consumer, which is going to be a next Britannia.
Okay, fair point. I hope this has really given you a sense of how do you go about with a long-term portfolio stock and a wealth-creating stock. The stock is still up by 1% even in this week setup at this point in time. So I hope this guidance has really helped you out to decide as to what should you be doing with your stock. Let's take the next one. This is Gunjan who writes in and says, this is a very useful show for us. Thank you so much, Gunjan, for writing in. A question is on Adani Power और Star Cement. यहाँ पर फ्रेश एंट्री करने के लिए आपसे लेवल्स पूछना चाह रहे हैं गुंजन कि अदानी पावर या स्टार सीमेंट में कहाँ पर और फ्रेश एंट्री के लिए लेवल क्या हो, ये पूछना चाह रहे हैं आपसे कुछ.
डेफिनेटली स्टार पावर अभी तो इन्वेस्ट नहीं कर सकते क्योंकि 200 एवरेज आज जस्ट ब्रेक किया है. तो मुझे लग रहा है कि स्टॉक वी शुड वेट ऑन. अगर 2 3 दिन 205 के नीचे सस्टेन होता है तो मे बी वी मे सी 180 लेवल्स. सो अराउंड 185 वी कैन टेक अ रिव्यू. अदानी पावर डेफिनेटली लॉन्ग टर्म के लिए मैं पॉजिटिव, बट अभी टेक्निकली चार्ट्स पे करेक्शन दिख रहा है. आप देखो तो पिछले 3 महीनों से एक रेंज बाउंड है. तो टेक्निकली आई थिंक वी शुड वेट फॉर अ क्वार्टर मोर. फोर्स 60 to 500 की रेंज में ये कॉन्सोलिडेट होगा. मे बी यू कैन यूज अ स्ट्रेटेजी इन अदानी पावर टू एक्यूमुलेट एवरी मंथ. तो थोड़ा थोड़ा करके नेक्स्ट 3 4 महीने के लिए आप अदानी पावर इन्वेस्ट करो. while in Star Cement we'll wait for around 185 level to start investing.
Okay, I hope Gunjan this has really helped you out in deciding the course that you should be taking. बहुत सारे सवाल हमारे पास WhatsApp के जरिए भी आ रहे हैं, तो we'll start taking some of those questions. Om from Bhubaneswar in Odisha writes in and he wants to know, I want to ask whether I should go for swing trading in SBI, State Bank of India. What would you say, Kush, does a swing trade work here?
Swing trading, yes, sir. Right now, if you look, swing trading won't be much of because swing means we see momentum on both the side. But
Yeah.
right now, SBI is on the going literally towards south. And it is interesting. Maybe most of we have not seen, but SBI is a stock and Tata Motor that are trading below 4th June low. So 4th June low of SBI was around 731, and today we are at 690. So I think don't do swing trading, but maybe sell on rise is what I suggest. I believe SBI is heading towards 540.
Sell on rise, State Bank of India. The stock could be heading lower. And that's what Kush has said, that it's not only tested the June 4th lows, but it may be heading even further lower. So look at it. It could be sub 600 levels as well that Kush believes the stock could be heading to. So keep an eye out on that. Let's take another one. This one is from Chandan Jain in Hubli in Karnataka. He says Raymond Lifestyle के shares अलॉट हुए थे बोनस के तौर पर, but from a high of 3100 they are at 1110. What should I do? Should I continue to hold on or should I exit? What would you suggest? All right, Raymond and Raymond Lifestyle, these are the two stocks that he's looking at, especially Raymond Lifestyle, which has actually come off pretty much quite a bit from its highs. What would you suggest here?
Definitely a very short history of Raymond lifestyle chart, but I would
Yeah.
suggest you should hold it. If you hold from 3000 to 1000, the pain is little bit more, but not much. So just hold on.
Okay, I hope this has answered your question, Chandan. Next, we have Satya writing in, and Satya says, wishing you all a wonderful weekend. Well, Satya, you are an optimist at heart for sure. It's better to forget that we are in this fearful Friday and look ahead at the weekend. That's the way how we actually celebrate life as well, even when there are some days that are painful. You always hope for better days ahead. So I'm sure that that's where you are wishing us from. I really wish that you have a fantastic weekend. Let's forget that the markets had a weak Friday, but let's not forget enjoying our weekend. His question is on Sterling Tools, Kush. And he says, I've been holding this stock since August of 2023. And now, after a long haul, the stock has actually reached his own buying price. So he's been holding on since patience. And he says, I don't have any regrets. Finally, it's come to my buying price. Now I want to know whether I can continue to add more to the current levels or any other stock which could offer more value is where he can actually switch to. So, Kush, a lot of people actually get stuck like that. You invest in a stock, cycles turn, the stock does not perform, you just keep on hoping that that stock will continue to give you profit. So similarly, about 1.5 years of painful period is what he has seen through. Now finally the price is coming in and he wants to know whether the stock will finally give him good profits or should he switch. What would you suggest?
Maybe still there is more pain in Sterling tools, and I think you should keep a strict stop loss around 300 because 300 was the level for 2024 for almost 6 to 8 months where the stock had taken a good support. So if at all 300 is breached, I feel there will be more downside. Shifting to another stock maybe will take some time because markets are going to remain volatile. So not right time to invest fresh, but definitely you should keep a strict stop loss at 300. And that is why Sakshi, as you rightly pointed out, many people believe that stop losses are only for short-term trades. But I suggest you should keep a technical stop loss for even long-term investment calls because if it's not performing, if it underperforms, then also it is a loss for your portfolio. So stop losses are always good for even long-term investment. So I would suggest to give 300 as a stop loss. And yes, definitely, I think Satya is asking to enjoy the weekend because he is also a short seller like me.
Okay, I hope this has helped you out in your decision making as far as your stock portfolio is concerned. Let's take another one. This is Lavisha, and she's from Jalandhar. She says it's a great and useful show for us. Thank you so much, Lavisha, for writing in. Now, she has a few stocks that she wants an assistance with. First one is Hyundai. She bought the stock at 1880. The other one is Birla Soft. Now she took an entry here at 693. And the third one is BEL or Bharat Electronics, where she has a position at 298. Now, on all these three, she wants to know where can she continue to average and where can she exit her position. Okay, we'll take them one by one. For BEL, the stock has come at 245. You bought at 298. So that's come off. We know at Birla Soft, you took an entry at 693. Again, the IT stocks have been under pressure of late. 429 is the current level for this one. Again, you are sitting on losses here. The third one is Hyundai Motor. Of course, this came in as a big bang, largest IPO in the history of India, but the stock price have actually been continuously declining. You bought it at 1880. Right now, it's at 1728. Kush, which of these stocks give you promise and which of these actually give you a hint of complete exit at this point?
So starting with Hyundai, I believe you should exit Hyundai stock completely in loss. So secondly, fundamentally, I believe Hyundai is going to face tough competition more and more every day. I mean, it's not going to enjoy that same era it had in Centro and Centro Zing time. But I think now, if you look at Hyundai, it is a competition from MG, Kia, which is a sister concern of course. But now we will have Tesla, Tata Motor, M&M. I mean, Hyundai is not much into EV, so I think Hyundai is not a good option to stay invested for long term. I would suggest from Hyundai you exit and same capital you start investing in Tata Motors and start investing every day, not at one go. So maybe whatever capital you have, you start investing in Tata Motors at current levels for long term. Second, BEL definitely is a good stock to hold on, but you may see some pain right now. I won't suggest to book losses as it's a good, fundamentally strong company. But around 220 levels, if we touch that levels, we come back to the show and maybe we can advise it right to average it out. So hold on to BEL. Birlasoft, I think IT stocks are going to see some more pain. Definitely, we had seen a good rally because of a dollar weak strengthening, but Birlasoft is a stock which has been correcting very sharply from 840 levels. So very tough call because not just 200 average, but 200 weeks average, which is almost 4 years average practically, is been breached by Birlasoft this week, and that level was acting as support since June 2020. So it has breached 5 years support. So wait for a week. I think if it sustains below 450 for next week also, completely exit Birlasoft.
Okay, I hope this has really helped you out in understanding on all the three stocks that you've asked, Lavisha. Let's take some other questions. We have a caller with us, and I'm sure Kush will be happy to speak to our caller. Kalpesh Patel from Mumbai is with us. Kalpesh ji, नमस्कार. कैसे हैं आप? उम्मीद करते हैं कि आपने शॉर्ट सेल करके काफी पैसा बनाया होगा लगातार जो बाजार में गिरावट हो रही है. आप तो काफी खुश होंगे अभी.
मैम मैं एकदम बढ़िया हूँ. आप कैसे हो मैम?
मैं ठीक हूँ. बताइए क्या सवाल है आपका आज?
मैंने स्टेट बैंक सेल किया है 717 क्या 640 तक आ सकता है. और नंबर 2, ये बंधन बैंक में कोई भी लेवल पे शॉर्ट करता हूँ उसमें पैसा बना ही है. तो ये और कौन से लेवल के ऊपर मैं क्रैश हो जाऊंगा कि उसके ऊपर बंधन बैंक कभी और नीचे नहीं जाएगा, तो मेरा भी शॉर्ट में फंस जाऊँ, क्योंकि कोई भी लेवल पे बेचूँ वो नीचे ही जाता है. ठीक है, और 140 में बेचूँ, 130 में बेचूँ, 200 400 में बेचा तो फिर नीचे ही आ रहा है. कौन से लेवल के ऊपर ये उसके ऊपर ही चला जाएगा, फिर नीचे नहीं आएगा.
ठीक है, दोनों बैंकिंग के स्टॉक्स हैं. पहला एसबीआई, जहां पर कुछ भी मानते हैं कि ये स्टॉक नीचे की तरफ ही जाएगा. आपने इसको शॉर्ट सेल किया है 717 पे. आपका टारगेट है कि 650 और 640 के आसपास आ जाए तो. और दूसरा बंधन बैंक पर आप पूछ रहे हैं, लगातार आपने शॉर्ट सेल करके पैसा बनाया, लेकिन कहाँ से एक रिवर्सल आ सकता है ये आप जानना चाह रहे हैं. कुछ क्या सजेस्ट करना चाहेंगे?
Definitely. Hats off to Kalpesh bhai because I remember him last week. He was there with short questions, short selling questions. I was happy. तो ठीक है, आपने एसबीआई भी शॉर्ट किया था. डेफिनेटली विथ यू. मैं आई डिस्कस्ड इट फ्यू मिनट्स बैक कि 640 और 600 तक आ सकता है, और मेरा टारगेट तो कल्पेश भाई सब 600 का भी है, बट अभी नहीं बोल रहा हूँ. बट 640 600 तो डेफिनेटली स्ट्रिक्ट स्टॉप लॉस आपकी कॉस्ट प्राइस के पास रखना 715 के पास. और बंधन बैंक मुझे लग रहा है कि काफी सालों से लो लोज बनाता जा रहा है. आई थिंक टर्न अराउंड के लिए 180 इज अ लेवल विच इज 200 एवरेज, और पिछले 3 साल से इसके ऊपर सस्टेन नहीं हो पा रहा ये एवरेज के ऊपर. तो टर्न अराउंड बुलिश के लिए 180 के ऊपर है, बहुत ऊपर है रेजिस्टेंस. सो अभी तो फिलहाल शॉर्ट करके पैसा बनाया है. strict stop loss around 145 or sell on rise.
ओके गॉट दैट कुश चलिए बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया हमारे सभी दर्शकों के क्वेश्चंस को एड्रेस करने के लिए इट्स ऑलवेज अ प्लेजर टू होस्ट यू ऑन डेली कॉल्स एंड let's hope things improve for the better pretty soon. But until then, we will keep on taking your guidance for all our viewers as well. Thank you so much. Appreciate your time. Okay, now viewers, we are getting into the second segment, 22,244, a slight improvement from the low point, but still no respite. There is a heavy sell-off across the board. We have a guest joining in, Mr. Raj Vyas, Vice President of Research at Tezi Mandi is now joining in. Warm welcome, Raj. Good to have you with us. फर्स्ट अप टेल अस योर व्यू ऑन द मार्केट आज की जो गिरावट आई है इसको देखते हुए क्या आपको लग रहा है कि और क्रूशियल लेवल्स टूटने के आसार दिख रहे हैं आर वी गोइंग टू बी रियली लुकिंग एट शार्पर फॉल फ्रॉम हियर or do you think this is just the last point that we are looking at and then there'll be a recovery?
So first of all, good afternoon to all the viewers of BTV, and thank you for having me on the show. This is something the typical behavior that when we see that when we are nearing to the last leg of the sell-off. So the recent correction, if you see, it's notably for the small and mid caps that have been quite broad-based, driving most market bet indicators below the 10 percentile readings. So this indicates that the market is oversold. However, the declining market bet readings are being offset by still some rich valuations and subdued volatility. The median price corrections for BSE 500 has fallen more than 30% from the 52-week highs. And during earlier corrections as well, when we see the median, price corrections was roughly around 30 to 45%, with notable exceptions seen in 2008 financial crisis when the median decline for the BSE 500 exceeded 70%, and the figure was close to 50% during the COVID pandemic as well. And if we see the overall feedback that we are getting in right now is that the volatility is likely to continue because of the leverage selling or whatever. And normally towards the end of the March, we see the tax harvesting comes into play. So second week of March is something when the advance tax comes in. So till second week of March, we are looking things like it will be a volatile thing for the markets. But on the positive side, we have been reading the reports like the last time when the Nifty delivered this 5 times straight negative returns. The coming months were positive. And what we have done at Tezi Mandi is that we have also analyzed the performance whenever the Mahakumbh has happened. So,
Yeah.
for example, the Kumbh has happened. So from 2004 onwards, what we have seen is whenever the Kumbh has happened, Sensex has given a negative return of 3.4%. And in the next 6 months, the average return on Sensex is close to 8%. So, as going by the history, but only time will tell how much we are correct. But all in all, we are seeing this is the last leg of the selling, and one should typically accumulate good quality stocks at current levels because this is something we may never see the kind of fall that we are seeing right now in terms of price actions. So, it's better to start accumulating the good quality companies.
Good time to start accumulating quality companies at this point in time. Let's start taking some questions and let's actually look at some questions from our viewers on our WhatsApp who are sending in. This is a question from Somalia Biswas from Kolkata. Somalia says, I have 500 shares of Lemon Tree Hotels. I bought it at 126 levels and I want to know what is the target and stop loss of this stock. Okay, so Lemon Tree has been an erstwhile great favorite of a lot of traders, investors as well because of the kind of opportunities it was looking at an expansion in the hospitality space. Currently at 122, what would you say? Is it a good stock to continue to average? Can one look at a target and stop loss from the current levels?
So if you see on a longer term perspective, we remain positive on the hotel sector as a whole, and we have some of the stocks as well. Just as you mentioned, Lemon Tree, we have Shell Hotels as well in our portfolios. So if you see recently, the company has signed its property in Maharashtra, that is Nasik as well, which will be effective from FY 28 onwards. And if we see in the past many months, the company has come out with several expansion mode, and that will be typically seen from the period of FY 26 to FY 27 as well. And recently, the management of Lemon Tree Hotels was on air as well, and they were quite optimistic about the growth projects and the partnerships that they're taking forward. And with the this exemption of 12 lakhs that we have seen in the budget, we too do believe that some part of the savings will be in the hospitality segment, and the kind of people spending very much on the weddings and the kind of this exhibition and everything happening lately, we remain positive on the hotel sector, and Lemon Tree as well. We see have a positive view on the same. Coming to the this target price and stop loss, so we may not be able to give the target price because it's on a longer term vision in our portfolio. But if you see the stop loss, right, for Lemon Tree, then we see the stop loss around 114 or 115 odd levels. That is typically your past 6 months low that the company has made, and it should be viewed as a stop loss in the near term. But if you are a longer term investor, then you should definitely accumulate this, and because the prospects look quite good for the stock.
Sure. ओके बहुत सारे और सवाल आ रहे हैं यूट्यूब के जरिए भी, हमें बहुत सवाल मिल रहे हैं हमारे दर्शकों के. वील स्टार्ट टेकिंग दोज आल्सो. मिस्टर जेकी कुमार पूछते हैं कि टाटा मोटर्स के ऊपर कुछ सजेस्ट कीजिए, हिंदी में प्लीज समझाइए. जरूर मिस्टर कुमार, आपके सवाल को हम हिंदी में लेंगे. टाटा मोटर्स एक ऐसा स्टॉक है जहां पर बहुत सारे निवेशक अभी अपने आप को फंसा हुआ समझ रहे हैं, क्योंकि हायर लेवल्स पर एंट्री की हुई है और एक तरफा रैली के बाद लगातार पिछले 5 महीनों से यहाँ कंसोलिडेशन चल रहा है. अब 700 के भी नीचे, 650 के भी नीचे अब टाटा मोटर्स जा चुका है. यहाँ पर आपका क्या व्यू पॉइंट रहेगा अभी?
तो अगर आप देखो कि टाटा मोटर्स की जो मेजोरिटी ऑफ द रेवेन्यू है वो आती है आपकी जेएलआर डिमांड से. सो जेएलआर का मेन डिमांड होता है, इंडिया तो है ही, बट वो काफी हद तक आता है यूरोपियन और चाइना के यहाँ से.
ठीक है.
चूंकि हमें चाइना का जो डिमांड जो हमें इतना वीक दिख रहा था, वो अभी ओवरऑल अभी पॉजिटिव हमें दिखाई दे रहा है. बट यूरोपियन मार्केट्स में थोड़ी बहुत अभी हमें कंसर्न्स दिख रही है बेस्ड ऑन द इम्पोर्ट टैरिफ जो ट्रम्प ने अनाउंस की है. और लार्जली हमें दिख रहा है कि टाटा मोटर्स की बहुत सारी व्हीकल जो उन्होंने अनाउंसमेंट किया है, वो बहुत सारे उन्होंने इलेक्ट्रिकल व्हीकल्स अनाउंस किया जिनका डिमांड काफी हद तक बहुत ज्यादा था इंडिया में. और हमें लेटली ये भी देखने को मिला कि टेस्ला की भी एंट्री हमें इंडिया में देखने को मिल रही है, और उन्होंने काफी हद तक जॉब रिक्रूटमेंट और प्लांट लोकेशंस का भी उन्होंने फाइनलाइज करने का सोचा है. सो
जी.
ये सब रीजंस की वजह से भी हमें टाटा मोटर्स में काफी हद तक सेलिंग का प्रेशर देखने को मिल रहा है. बट अगर आप देखो कि कोविड में भी हमें सेम काइंड ऑफ सिचुएशन टाटा मोटर्स में दिखा था, जब ग्लोबली सेंटिमेंट्स काफी वीक दिख रहे थे, और वहां से उन्होंने जो कंपनी ने रैली दिखाई थी वो बहुत फिनोमिनल थी. और अभी भी जो करंट लेवल्स पे है वो काफी 52 वीक लो लेवल्स के आसपास ही है. तो ये टाइम पे ऐसी अच्छी कंपनी को एग्जिट करना हमारा मानना नहीं होगा. आप
ठीक है.
अगर किसी ने लॉन्ग टर्म मतलब 800 900 और लेवल्स पे लिया हुआ होगा, तो डेफिनेटली वो थोड़े बहुत अभी ग्रेजुअली एवरेज कर सकते हैं ये लेवल पे, क्योंकि एवरेज करना ही एक अच्छा तरीका होगा. बट जिन्होंने फ्रेश एंट्री लेनी है वो अभी ले सकते हैं. बट ध्यान रखिए कि आपको ये नियर टर्म पर इतना अच्छा रिटर्न स्टार्ट ही देखने को मिले, बट लॉन्ग टर्म नेक्स्ट 6 मंथ्स 1 ईयर डाउन द लाइन हमें पॉजिटिव रिटर्न्स दिख सकते हैं. जब क्योंकि और हमें ये क्वार्टर भी हमें देखना होगा, जो मार्च का क्वार्टर आएगा, हमें ये
जी.
देखना होगा कि टैरिफ का जो इम्पैक्ट है वो कितने हद तक हमें देखने को मिल सकता है.
बिल्कुल
तो
बिल्कुल.
ये सब क्लैरिटी ये क्वार्टर में हमें देखने को मिलेगी, और हम आगे की रणनीति के बारे में सोच सकते हैं.
ओके. अरिहंत पंत पूछते हैं जेके टायर्स के ऊपर 412 रुपए पर इन्होंने खरीदा हुआ है, यहाँ पर क्या कर सकते हैं?
सो टेक्निकली अगर हम देखें जेके टायर, तो उनका जो स्टॉक प्राइस काफी हमें वोलेटाइल दिख रहा था. आज के
जी.
मार्केट में भी आप देखो तो 5% के करीबी है, और लास्ट 6 मंथ्स में भी 35% 40% का उन्होंने दिया हुआ है. सो इंडिकेटर्स अगर आप देखोगे तो 100 डीएमए 200 डे मूविंग एवरेज जो टिपिकल इंडिकेटर्स है, वहां से वो काफी अभी जो करंट स्टॉक प्राइस है वो काफी हद तक अभी नीचे है। और जो रबर के प्राइसेस में भी हमें जो वोलेटिलिटी दिख रही है, वो हिसाब से जो जेके टायर है उसके स्टॉक प्राइसेस में भी इम्पैक्ट हमें देखने को मिला है। सो जब तक हमें मैक्रो लेवल पे कुछ पॉजिटिविटी नहीं दिखती, तब तक इट्स बेटर टू रिमेन आउट ऑफ द टायर रिलेटेड स्टॉक्स, क्योंकि ऑटोमोटिव डिमांड जो हमें है वो हमें थोड़े बहुत सबड्यूट दिख रहे हैं। लाइक दिसंबर जनवरी में हमें खाली देखने को मिला था कि मतलब वो ईयर एंड सेल की वजह से, बट वी रिमेन पॉजिटिव ऑन द टू व्हीलर सेगमेंट। बट जो अभी जो डिमांड आएगी ऑटोमोटिव की,
जी।
हमें वो देखने होगी। अगर वो ग्रो होगी तो डेफिनेटली टायर स्टॉक्स जो है वो आपके ग्रो करेंगे, बट एट द मोमेंट इट्स बेटर टू रिमेन अवे फ्रॉम जेके टायर।
Away from JK Tires. We have a very interesting question coming in from our WhatsApp. We'll just go through that. This is Mr. Dasradhi from Vijayawada, writes in, Hi Sakshi ma'am, I'm a big fan of your TV channel. Thank you so much for writing in, Dasradhi ji. And he wants to know that he wants to buy MRF. See, we were talking about the tire space, and the leader of the pack is what he's looking at, MRF. He wants to buy just 2 shares of MRF, but remember, those 2 shares also come in for lakhs of rupees, and so he
Right.
will have to incur a little more than 2 lakh rupees just to buy 2 shares of MRF. Now, why is he asking this? He says, is it the right time to enter MRF, or should I wait for some more correction? So basically, he says, if I deposit 2 lakh rupees in FD, I might end up getting 8% interest. अरे आप बहुत हाई बोल रहे हैं, 8% तक भी इंटरेस्ट आपको नहीं मिलेगा, इसमें आपको इन्फ्लेशन भी काट के काफी कम रिटर्न मिलेगा एफडी में. तो ही इज सेइंग दैट एटलीस्ट आई कैन एक्सपेक्ट फॉर स्लाइटली हायर return when it comes to MRF if I invest in MRF just to those 2 lakh rupees. Okay, we'll try and help you out with that. What would you say now? MRF या FD? 2 लाख रुपए कहाँ पर लगाए जाए?
So, like my view remains the same for the tire stocks. So, if we compare both JK Tire and MRF, so the volatility that we have seen on MRF was quite low compared to JK Tire. But my view will be that, see, at the end of the day, we measure returns in terms of percentage, even though the stock price is 1 lakh or if the stock price is 200 odd levels. So my suggestion would be that rather than going into MRF right now, it's better to look at some of the other stocks uh, that can be a good play right now. So if you see some of the sectors like chemicals, cement, textiles, they have or your banking and financials, they have like lately come into the play. And despite the FII outflows from Indian market, they have seen some bit of inflows. So we remain positive on these sectors, and it's better that you put your money like gradually, not 2 lakhs. You diversified your money into all these sectors, and you may see a good return from all these stocks or the sectors that you put in, rather than simply putting a 2 lakh amount in MRF. So diversification is a theme right now, and it's better to diversify your funds and not put all your money into one end.
Okay, I hope this has answered your question. Momita from Kolkata writes in. She says, Hi Sakshi, everything seems to be in the red. So could you please suggest any top two, three stocks that I can invest for the 1 year time frame? Well, good to know, Raj, that a lot of our viewers are still getting that courage despite the 5 months of pain to look at opportunities where they can invest for a 1 year time frame. Have you, in your analysis, picked out any one or two stocks where you could advise fresh entry for a 1 year time frame?
So if you see, like I rightly pointed out right now, that we have seen some of the sectors that have gained momentum lately despite the FI outflows, and we also believe have the same view. So if I have to give calls, for example, just she has asked for 2 calls, but I would definitely give more. But just speaking on the 2 calls, one is that they have lately entered right now is the Paradise phosphate stock. So currently the stock is around 88, 90 odd levels. But if you see the fundamental picture quite looks quite robust. The company has also got the BSE approval for merger of with Mangalore Chemicals, right? And this was something that the company or the board had announced in February 2024. But because of some SEBI approvals and rework, we were waiting for that approval, and that has finally paved way. And right now, post this, we will wait for NCLT approval. And if you see the post this merger, the presence of Paradip phosphate will be pan India based, right? So currently, if we see Paradip itself, it is around the northern regions or central or northeastern regions, and the Mangalore Chemicals is purely based in the southern region. So once both these companies will come into picture, it will have a pan India this thing. And if you see majority of the products that is been this made, it is in house only. So
Yeah.
in terms of tariff, if we see, it will not be much impact for this paradigm phosphates. And the company has lately, if you see the fundamentals as well, the company has been consistently increasing its revenue share. The management is quite confident of achieving its volumes of close to 3 million tons for FY25, and maintaining the long-term debt to equity around zero point 0.3 to zero point 0.4. So it is all positive, and we believe that you should keep this stock of a long-term horizon, and it will definitely give you good returns. Other than this, if you see some of the cement players as well, lately they were under pressure.
Yeah.
We believe Birla Corporation right now at current levels looks quite good. So the reason behind is that they have already announced their transition into one more this land which will be giving good utilizations. And despite the subdued demand, we have seen the company having a capacity utilization of around 70%. And it is also a pan-India based cement company with renowned management. And we have seen the stock price uh, trading near its 252-week low levels. So the risk reward looks pretty much favorable. And if you see the infrastructure pickup, right now lately we have seen the pickup, and because it was got hampered because of the heat wave and the general elections, but we have seen the capex pulling up, and this will surely have a ripple effect into cement sector as well. So given the risk reward favorable, right now we see this Birla Corporation looking good to enter for a longer term horizon. So both
Okay.
Birla Corp and Paradigm Phosphate looks good, and you can accumulate it right now at the current levels as well.
Okay. Sandhya from Hyderabad writes and says, Hi Sakshi, I want to know on two stocks. One is Bajaj Housing Finance and the other one is Geo Finance. So she has both these stocks in her portfolio. Bajaj Housing at 138, Geo Finance at 310. Now she wants to know, can she average at the current levels and can she continue to hold on to both these stocks in her portfolio? What would you advise here?
So if you see right now, we have seen quite a positive news coming for both banks and NBFC, because we have seen RBI reducing the risk-weighted assets from 120 to 100%. And though the expectation is that it will have a close to 4 lakh crore of money coming into market, and it will be utilized by the consumers. So we see at current, we don't see any negative sign on both on this Bajaj Housing Finance and Geo Finance. And taking into picture the real estate segment, that it is continues to be a demanding one, and people and the government also talking about the affordable housing segment as well. So we believe the this NBSC related the move that we have gotten positive view from the RBI, it will have a positive thing on Bajaj Housing Finance as well, and they will be able to give more money to the lenders, and it will be positive for them. Coming to Geo Finance post it is coming under pressure lately, but I don't have a fundamental view on Geo Finance, but on the technically side, the risk reward is favorable from the current junction. So one may if you see it, it is trading near to its 52-week low levels. And in the past 6 months, it has fallen close to 40 odd percent. And Jio Finance, as backed by Mukesh Ambani, Reliance Industries, and the fundamentals, if we see the industry domain, so it looks quite positive. So based on this scenario, we remain positive and we suggest you to be positive on both the stocks.
Okay, fair point. Well, thank you so much for being with us today and to answer all those questions for all our viewers. And appreciate your time with us. You patiently answered all those questions coming in for all our viewers today, Raj. And I'm sure all our viewers, there are many more questions that are coming in, but for shortage of time, we'll have to wind up the show right here. But in case you still have some questions on your mind, keep sending them to us. The WhatsApp number is flashing on your screens. Monday is when we will be back with another edition of Daily Calls at 12 noon. So meanwhile, you could continue to send in your questions on the WhatsApp number, on our YouTube channel, and all the social media platforms as well. We'll be happy to take up all those questions in another edition with other of our top experts. At this point in time, the markets still continue to reel under pressure. Will remain to be seen as to when and how the day will pan out as the first day of the March F&O series. A painful start. Let's see if there are any signs of improvement towards the end of the session. Stay tuned with us. A lot more on market coverage will continue on the other side.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our special show Top Stocks, where we discuss quality shares which could be in the limelight in the next 6 to 8, 10 months.